Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Pluto's Door. I'm also Mimi Motshidi, aka Helluva Healer, and I'm here today to talk about Pluto, of course, but we're going to talk about the real Pluto. Okay, you guys. So, everybody wants to talk about the Jack of Spades. What's the Jack of Spades really about? A lot of people are not going to find out. Even those closest may not ever find out. And that's the Jack of Spades in a nutshell. Thanks for tuning in. No, seriously. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about the real Pluto today. The real Pluto, and I mean the Jack of Spades. So today is February 1st, 2021, and it is a Jack of Spades day. So there's only two Jack of Spades days in the entire year, right? And so this is also a Jack of Spades month of February. So it's a lot to really factor in. So when I looked at the time, it said 1:44. So we're gonna get to it. The Jack of Spades is, like I said, the real Pluto. In the original spiritual square of Cardology, the Jack of Spades sits on the crown line, and it is the guardian. It is the card that is the gatekeeper. It is the one who is in charge of who is admitted into the palace, okay? Because you have the royal family there. You have the Jack of Spades, you have the Queen of Spades, which I went over, and you have the King of Spades, which is, as I've said, the most powerful card in the deck. That's what's said. But it is the card that sits there and it determines who is allowed in the presence of, like I said, the royal family, who is allowed, on the gates, on the royal grounds and royal courts. And that's because it has done its own due diligence to get there. So the Jack of Spades has transformed from Seven of Hearts, and the Seven of Hearts is a card that is like, if you think of what the Jack of Spades is in comparison, it's like the soldier, and the Jack of Spades is the general. So that's why the Jack of Spades has more say than anybody to determine who has access to the Queen and King, because they ain't got time to be seeing everybody. That's why they pop out once a year. The Jack of Spades comes out, like I said, twice a year. So today, like I said, it's February 1st. And the actual first day that the Jack of Spades appears throughout the year is January 3rd. And that's what we're going to talk about today, January 3rd, because we're going to talk about cryptocurrency and the stock market and finances, and how you can actually help yourself with these cards, and how to be able to forecast the market, whatever your interests are. That's more important to me than talking about like what people are doing in the limelight. And it's a lot of repetitive messages too. I feel like let's use this to do something different than what's already being done. Let's do something different a different way instead of doing the same thing a different way. Let's just see how it goes. Okay, I mean, and it's not really nothing new. It's just a matter of bringing it to the light, and that's what Pluto does. Okay, Pluto brings things to the forefront, to the light. It exposes, and you have to be prepared to go through Pluto's door, because Pluto knows your home, and Pluto coming. So don't even fade. Pluto sees right through all that. Pluto can look through your blinds and see who in there, what you doing. They already know. So just go ahead and come to the door. And it's a matter of how you come to the door. And then, once you get an understanding and be able to analyze, you can decide which door you actually want to go through. Because that's when you get to transform. And that's what Pluto does. Pluto transforms. So you may go through one way through the door and then come out another way. It was 4:44 when I said that, as far as the time goes. So we on a good spiritual spread. That's where it sits on the crown line. When it comes to the physical row, the physical spread, it sits Uranus, Mars, and so it has to kind of humble itself, and it feels like it has gotten a great deal of karma before it has deserved it. But that's because a deal was made in the past and you probably was just a royal tyrant. But it happens. So now you come you come to the physical, and you gotta like be able to stay in that higher power. And that's the whole thing with the Jack of Spades. A lot of people have a negative connotation about it, but it's because they don't understand the energy and they want to know the sauce behind the Jack of Spades. And it's just like I said, it has become aware of its past contract, and it knows that it knew stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really It sits on the crown line. So off bucks, you know, crown, what is that? You know, your
corona, you know what I'm saying? Your mental mindset, your mind, your brain, your wisdom, whatever you want to call it. I was trying not to say your third eye, but
your first eye, you know, that's your right, your first eye, right? So like that's the eye that is growing, you know, initially, but it's seeing in the dark, essentially. So that's how we can. And I'm not saying like this is how you can like close your eyes to see stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But like how you like how you can sense things without, you know, actually seeing it. And then, you know, it'll sometimes, you know, it'll manifest. And that also is, to get kind of scientific, that's RAS, or reticular activating system, which is the one of the roots of LOA, or the law of attraction, because the Jack of Spades is very magnetic. So it can attract a great deal of energy, whether it's aware of it or not. And it can be empathic, but also, you know, a lot of people will come to it and try to they'll put their life stories onto them, or they'll you know, try to get their energy some type of way. Like they'll just try to be sneaky and try to, so that's the connotation. A lot of people think the Jack of Spades is a thief, but people steal from the Jack of Spades. They try to find out how they can get, you know, what the Jack of Spades has, because the Jack of Spades is a magnet, and it doesn't try to be necessarily a magnet. Like I said, it felt like it received a great deal of karma before, but that's because it made a contract. So like it's kind of like I said, just going into understanding, you know, who they are, and, you know, what their purpose is to do, you know, with that power and all that energy, to be on the high side of it. So you have to play your cards right. People have a connotation of it can be deceitful. They can say that that's because they don't understand how it arrived to where they are. The Jack of Spades is the 11th card of the spade suit, and you have to look at the number 11 and break it down. It's 2 ones, so it has to look at itself in a mirror, and it has to be able to reflect, you know, or it has to analyze what it sees, so it's reflecting, you know, what's there. So it can either step in, or it can just, you know, break the glass by, you know, looking stupid, just staring at the glass and not doing it. I think, like I said, the misconception is that when you are that magnetic, like I said, people don't understand. And that's because you have to, when you're standing in that mirror, you have to be able to be the change you want to see. You know the song, Michael Jackson?
looking at the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways.
So it's a very intense card. It can be, and it can be intimidating to people, because it makes other people see themselves, and see, you know, parts of themselves that they may not like. And why, when it was 909 when I said that. So it's really it's a card that is about ascending, and it produces results, but like I said, it's about ascending, and it brings awareness to those who may not even want to see what, you know, their true self is about. But it's, you know, it's like a walking looking glass, you know. So that's to give you some insight onto the Jack of Spades. And like I said, you're not going to know everything about the Jack of Spades, because Jack of Spades is not going to tell you everything. But I just wanted to clear up some misconceptions about it. Like I said, today is a Jack of Spades day. So when you look at it, it's 2-1. So February 1st. February 1st, 2020. I'm trying to say it specifically 212021. Okay? Right. So that's like binary code. And that's what the Jack of Spades is also, is a decoder. And it's the card of cryptocurrency, because the Bitcoin was first mined on January 3rd. And that's why I said I wanted to talk. That's what I want to talk about. So we coming back, y'all. We coming back. Thank you for staying with me. I looked at the time, it said 10:23, so we in divine order. Relax, you guys. Okay. All right. So that's the card of cryptocurrency. Like I said, Bitcoin was established 12 years ago. This year it was its 12th birthday, and it hit a high of 33K. We look at how it came onto the scene. And just to give you a little bit of insight about this week, because I already spoke about how this is 5 of Spades energy, as far as the Pluto card for the week is a 5 of Spades. So with this week, this is actually a King of Clubs week. And so, and I wanted to mention it's an 8 day. So, and 8 is a very powerful energy. The King of Clubs sits Uranus. So it is the card, you know, of the week for real, that we need to also pay attention to, because I mean, it's Uranus, and that is, like crypto on crypto. So we really looking at a shift right now between, the regular stock market and, the cryptocurrency markets. And, you have different sides to that as well, as far as like centralized finance and decentralized finance. But I don't want to get too deep today, but I would like to have conversations in the future. So if anybody is aware and more, kind of in tune with that industry, let's do some things. Holler at me, please. Okay. All this month, really. And I know, my bad, I be jumping around, but I didn't even get to really say what I was talking about for this month too. This month is, like I said, it's going to be an interesting month. It's going to be a lot of things. So like I said, this is the Jack of Spades, right? This is the Jack of Spades. So the Jack of Spades, like I said, sits on the crown line, but it protects the Queen of Spades, which was January, which I spoke about. And it's this, the Queen of Spades is also protected by the King of Spades, which is the card for December. But like I said, it's the most powerful card in the deck. So that's the crown line. And like I said, it's the most powerful family, most powerful royal family. So for this month, because we already had the king, the queen, and the jack, we're basically coming to a point where we're going to, meet again, right? So if you look at a year ago, you have to look at the energies that happened, and what was going on around this time. A lot of things were changing. Different positions were coming and going. It was declared basically around this time. It probably got announced, I think, in March, maybe like the first to second week of March. But it was the Great Recession, right? And so a lot of panic was going into, about the stock market and everything like that. And so you have to remember that. And you have to also be accountable for being able to identify patterns. I want to see a follow-up of last year's energy, because it hasn't gone away. And if you recall, this is why, like, when the stimulus package was first getting passed, the bill was getting passed for that initially, they were trying to get a digital dollar to be on the bill too, but it didn't make it. We're able to be transferred, to direct deposit and stuff like that, because this is what they're working towards. They're working towards having a cashless society, right? So, and if you're familiar with if you're familiar with, like, stock market and, like I said, cryptocurrency, you've heard of the XRP debacle, and how that is a centralized finance. And so basically that token has been stopped from trading or purchasing, rather, basically. Well, yeah, I guess trading, you just got to do some other stuff. But this is not for financial advice. I'm not a financial trader. I'm not a financial expert as far as like giving other people advice, but so make sure I say that. But yeah, so like I said, I don't want to get too deep in it, but like I said, if you know, you know. So also with GameStop and with the doggy coin, so like things are going topsy-turvy. And that's what I was talking about with the 5 spades energy. It was going to flip things around. I've been talking about this card. If you follow me, I've been talking about this card since last year, like well into sometime beginning of last year. This card was talking about storms, and things have been brewing and a brewing. And it's like, well, also it's like the rose that grew through concrete. So it's just a matter of how you are going to use the energy, because the cards are avatars. So how you going to manipulate the energy if you're aware of it. What are you going to do about it? Anyway, like I was saying, the 5 of spades is the Pluto card of the week. So like I said, it's going to deconstruct and reconstruct. So what are you going to do about the energy? What are you going to build up this time? Now that you know the energy, and you know what happened in the past, what have you been doing? Because that's what the Jack of Spades is about. It's going to let you know if you can pass go or not. And that's what happened last year. A lot of people were not prepared when this shutdown began in March, for real. So February, if you may have been in a totally different position than you were in March. And it could be for the good, or better, or the worse. Vice versa, take it how it may. But I guarantee you were not in the same position as you were, because the Jack of Spades came and blew shit up. That's what it does. And you can't get mad at the Jack of Spades, because you knew the Jack of Spades was coming. You should have cleaned your house up. You knew you was about to have company. But, that's what it is. So, like I said, the Jack of Spades is going to come regardless. But you can be, like I said, aware and figure out what the energies are so you can try to manipulate it for your best prosperity. That's what you need to do this week. Like I said, just be on your P's and Q's, whatever they, whatever them letters is going to spell out for you. But like I said, the card of the Pluto card is the Five of Spades, but of course the card that I'm talking about is the Jack of Diamonds. That's the card of the country. That's the general card I'm talking about with y'all. So gotta look at like what's been going on, man. It's so much. I really feel like I'm just gonna put like 30 minutes of this video up, and then maybe I'll see how this goes, and I'll post the rest like throughout the week. Why not? Because it's so much, and I'm rapping.
You want to edit that out? So real quick, I'll just go over like some. Real quick, I'll just go over the basic themes that I'm seeing. Damn. Oh, that's curl. Machine. Damn. There it is. Popping. My bad. Wow. Mainmouse.com.
Okay. I'm gonna go to mainboss.com. I'm gonna edit this out. I'm getting tired. Okay, so I just wanted to go over some real quick points with you all, just to make sure that I cover what I want to cover, even if I don't cover it. So, the Jack of Diamonds is the card of the country. That's the card that we're looking at when we do these general analysis, and we have to figure out how we are cohabitating and coexisting amongst one another. So it's important to know this energy. And so the Five of Spades is the Pluto card for the Jack of Diamonds this week. And that's what I've been talking about. And like I said, that's what's been following me in my studies, or, just popping up in my dreams and everything. I've been talking about it with you all for the past year. And it's been talking about the storms that are coming. And so it's going to be, things are going to be topsy-turvy. And, like I said, with this being the Jack of Spades month, it's going to be the card that is going to, show you whether you have been granted access or if you've been denied access, because it's the card that's going to let you know if you've done what you needed to do to acquire, what you trying to get. If you ain't do the work, how you think you're going to get in? And then you want hate from outside the club, you can't even get in. So, you can't be mad at the Jack of Spades. What they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. Should have played your cards right. So, the Jack of Spades is actually transforming this week into its cosmic lesson. And that's major. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you are already in the cryptocurrency, you're early for real, because a lot of people are seeing the truth. And that's what the Five of Spades Pluto has been doing. It's been awakening people, to see, what the markets are really, about, and, who they benefit more, and what you need to be, how you need to play it if you're going to play it. You know what I'm saying? So it's been, like I said, with doggy coin, it has no utilization. So you can't really do anything with it. It was meant to be a joke or a meme, but, it's a novelty token, or, an NFT. So you can't really, it doesn't have any tangible value, I guess, because it has no project. But like, who knows what may happen? And that's the thing. In the future, who knows? It might have some, or it might be some people that you want to keep it as a antique. Who knows? Like an art piece. Who knows what And that's because we're still early in this industry, so it can go many ways. So, and that's what we can't be closed minded about, because the Jack of Spades is so random. Who knows what's going to happen? So. Gotta be mindful of that energy. And clearly, who knew what was going to happen with it? So it's cosmic lesson. So it's like making your dreams come true. So it's cosmic lesson, like I said, it's the Five of Hearts, which I mentioned earlier, and it really comes into play. But it's like, you're learning how to walk in the energy. And the Five of Hearts is a card that is, and speaking of art, is very artistic. But it can be a card that is very, it has to go within itself to get, that energy and that enlightenment. So it has to have that inner confidence. Like I said, Bitcoin is the currency that was born on January 3rd to say, but it represents, cryptocurrency as a whole, because it was the first one. And that's what the Jack of Spades is. It's like the blueprint. It's the initiator. It's the spiritual initiate. So it shows people how it's done. Okay, so it is turning into itself, and it's like it's basically coming into a field of tests, basically, if you can say. Like it's going to prove it's really proving itself this week. um Proving, its credibility. So it's like, if you even look at it, like, it's really, the Mars card is the Uranus card, like, for the week, and the Uranus card is the Mars card for this week. So if you, like, are looking at your charts, I hope you are able to follow along. If not, holler at me, hh44.space or CardiniOG.com. You can book a consultation with me. And I'll help you navigate through, your charts or whatever questions you may have. So anyway, little plug. So yeah, it's really like just catching up to his higher self, and it's like turning passions into profits. So it's like a dream come true, basically. It's like leveling up and successful self-mastery. It's like bridging the 3D to the 5D, it's self-ascension. And Pluto is so like, it's like the Jack of Spades is Pluto to the 9 of clubs. And the 9 of clubs is a card that is about ascension and higher knowledge. And that card can be overwhelming too. Like, yeah, I had that card last week like twice, and I felt like, with 5 of spade energy on top of that, like twice, it was a lot. It was a lot of mental pressure. So that's why I was saying, like, I may have to make this video shorter than what I had planned. I'm gonna do this. I got 3 minutes left. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. But like I said, just follow me, because I'm gonna always be talking about like stuff like this, I feel like. So the Jack of Spades is the Saturn card to the King of Hearts. So it is, like I said, learning about, self-mastery and being in control of your emotions and how you're projecting yourself, not following, the wrong crowds, and being aware of your energy and what you're projecting out there, and not being so easily influenced. You have to have some sort of stability in your life. And a lot of people are going to see, especially like with masculine energy, they're going to, because it's the King of Hearts, right? So you're going to see more accountability. We're going to be positive. We're going to see more accountability from the male energy, or masculine energy, excuse me. I ain't trying to offend nobody. So yeah, it's really, like I said, you're going to see like make or break, because you have to remember, how things got shaken up, and nothing was the same. So we got a Pluto return for the country in 4 years. So I'm just saying, you don't want to get like super shocked and everything in 4 years, because I'm telling you now. So gosh, man, it's just so much, like I said. But overall, I really broke this stuff down. Maybe I should write a blog. If you think I should write it and like post it to my website or something like that, or where you think I should post it, leave a comment, because I try to be on different platforms and I don't know what really works, and I want to give y'all like real information. Like I said, I don't want to keep talking about, celebrities, and I use those as examples so people can understand how I'm talking about the cards, but I don't really want to talk about those people, you guys. Like, things are really important, and I really, I don't want to, sound repetitive, or, hope it don't sound ridiculous. But, there are some things that I have been talking about, and I don't want to talk about them if they're not of interest. But at the same time, like, I want to make sure that the people who, are interested in what I'm talking about are able to continue to follow along. I want to continue to evolve with you all. And like I said, I don't want to talk about nothing that I don't need to be talking about. So we wrapping it up, because I got like 30 seconds left. So like I said, just be mindful. A lot of technology, a lot of energy around your finances, and you could be changing positions, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. But you can be like I said, it's about leveling up. If you've done the work. The Jack of Spades is not going to let you through if you haven't done the work. So please, if you haven't already started any processes, get some forms of discipline now. And thank you for tuning in to Pluto's Door, because we got 2 seconds left. Woo!